So this just happened to me here at the Macintosh theater at the School of Music. There was some kind of well, there was this man. He was like a Jewish middle-aged man. And he walked in here. I say about 30 minutes ago, and he had well, it was a metal box with a long pull handle, and then I don't know. He went back into the School of Music for about 15 minutes, and then he came back out. And then, but when he left out, I saw flashes of orange lights in my eyes, and I didn't think anything of it, and then soon after, I started getting like an intense pressure in the back of my head. Got it. But that's pretty much subsided now. And I wasn't gonna think anything of it or make anything of it, but then after uploading what could be considered a pejorative video of about an incident in which I left my devices, my smart devices, locked in a electronic device locker at Angel Hall on Central Campus a few days ago when I went, this past Monday when I went to the 15th District Court before the Honorable Chief Judge SWARTZ. And then when I returned, the combination for the electronic locker was changed. And so a student assistant, I remember his last name confidently was CHOI, but I believe his first name, and I know his middle name was Kim, so it was Kim CHOI, but I think the first name was Justin. And it was difficult for him to, he didn't know what to do, and then finally he got in contact with his supervisor, and then his supervisor must have given him some kind of code to get into this locker, and he got my devices and brought them to me, but he required that I fill out an information form on his personal laptop computer, which, okay, I didn't think anything of it, and it required my name and my phone number and my my email address and my unique name, which I don't have one because I'm a guest. In fact, I do have one, but it's a guest unique name because I have a guest account here with the University of Michigan. So I didn't think anything of it. My devices look in working order, and my files seem to be intact. So, but then yesterday, I had the strangest incidences. First at the place that I stay at, on Monday night, and then subsequently Tuesday at the University of Michigan Hospital emergency room entrance, and then afterwards at the Taubman Center, Medical Center, right next to the University of Michigan emergency room. And just strange electromagnetic energy, incidences, which also involved an ambulance and two paramedics that was in charge of the operation of the ambulance with the name SWARTZ, which happens to also be the same name of the chief judge of the Washington County Trial Court, who was presiding over a case that I'm associated with. So, okay, and so then I was deterred because and intimidated by all the strange threatening circumstances, and I left the medical University of Michigan Medical Campus and came to North Campus and tried to upload a video account of those circumstances, and then I experienced hacking from students and possibly with the assistance of University of Michigan law enforcement the whole day. And so I made, numerous videos, live videos of the incident, posted on Facebook. So I haven't looked at those or attended to those yet. And but I'm confident that they're up there. And then I come back here this morning, and then it seems like people were anticipating that I would upload a video of the occasion in which I left my 2 smartphone devices in the locker at the Spaghetti Bowl is what it's called in Angel Hall, the CAEN Computer Lab. And so, I just had strange, activity around me, and what I apprehended to be like kind of threatening, gestures not to upload that video, but I did anyway. And it's uploaded now successfully to YouTube, my YouTube account. But the culmination of all of that was this man leaving the building here, and me seeing those flashing lights in my eyes as he left with that strange contraption. It was like a metal, solid iron metal box, and then it had a long handle. So, all right, looks like University of Michigan Police. I can see them in the distance from here, back there, and it's a K9 unit. So maybe that's the electromagnetic tether that people suggest is the case. I don't know, but I think it's a coincidence that I'm making this movie and then I see them. So anyway, then I noticed this as I was making a transition from my conduct here, my peaceful conduct, and this wasn't here before. And so at face value, it looks like a stain, but it's actually something closer to a hot iron burn impression. And so I haven't had any exposure, or contact with dirt or salt, even though there is salt on the ground in some places. There's no snow. There's just light ice, and that just developed last night. So as you can see, I don't have any of that, even so much as on my shoes. Yeah, that's them, the K9 unit. So it looks like they are. I don't know if you can see them in the background or not, but anyway, and so not anywhere else is there, but just here. And so how I would explain this is, some electromagnetic charge was conducted by and drawn by my electroconductive condition that I've spoken of and demonstrated and written about. And then the charge on this synthetic material pants here drew together like a clumping or a consolidation of the salt. Actually, I don't even know if it's salt deposit. I think it's the chemical that's used for dry cleaning. And when these pants were initially dry cleaned, and so it's hard. It's like baked hard. And then I got like suggestions from what looked like faculty that were and staff coming through afterwards, subsequently suggesting that I drink coffee, drink coffee. They're not the only ones. I've gotten that suggestion or recommendation before, which I associate as some type of antidote or remedy for excessive radiation exposure. So that's the best sense that I can make of all this. But I'm confident that was not there. Well, when was the last time I would have paid attention to my pants? I put them on this morning. It's still morning. I was limited in where I traveled. I wasn't standing up against anything. It didn't even, I mean, if you really study this, you can tell that, that's not the case here. So clever, these people. So anyway. So that's good because then I can take a picture of this and then it won't be disturbed. Or maybe whatever that was has drawn the energy from this so that it won't render the kind of negative image that I was just able to capture at the back of my head. So, but we'll see. I guess it's not successful enough. So. It's a cultural established protocol of practice here at the University of Michigan to engage in this kind of I don't know if they're trying to do it defensively or it's just some sadistic I mean it's just hard to imagine that there would be some malicious sadistic intent associated with an institution of higher learning, but I experienced these types of strange encounters and engagements with students, faculty, and staff, and they are almost consistently electromagnetic, either directed towards my phone in a hacking exploit, or I sustain them, physically in some weird way. So, if you're looking at this video, then you've seen the numerous other videos that I've posted. So clearly, I have presented the university in a pejorative, at the very least, light. But it's also clear from the content of those videos that it's not something that I made up, fictitiously or on my own. It took people participating in those videos and demonstrating. At the very minimum, shows is questionable, suspicious conduct. So, and so this is one of those strange incidences. So, you might just be a lay person. You may not have gone to college. So even if you have an impression about this without having an adequate, competent command of the discipline and science that could best explain this phenomenon, I encourage you to consult a professional or an academic authority, before rushing to judgment about it. And then if you do have the credentials, then I hold you to a standard of responsibility and duty to service to the community, to be informative about this phenomenon at the very least. And if you can't make any additional inference as to the nature and intent of this kind of phenomenon, then that's fine. But if you can, clearly the public needs to be kept safe, especially from practices that are what clearly looks like intelligent, but a perverse use of academic knowledge applied in a harmful way. Because the rest of the public that haven't been able to afford the opportunity to acquire higher education are at the mercy of those who do have the higher education but use it maliciously and in a hurtful way, creating a circumstance by which the rest of the population is not in a position to defend themselves or even be aware. If I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've acquired over the past year, I would not have been able to recognize this quickly enough for what I believe it is. And all right.